Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and today I have an unboxing and review of this Akribos men's skeleton automatic watch, also known as the AK410SS. It looks like the name they're using is Saturnos, I believe that's how it's pronounced. This is a watch that I purchased just strictly for looks. I've always wanted a skeleton automatic. Uh, I don't see too many. I'm not a watch connoisseur, so I'm not sure. I'm sure there are some out there, but I don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds for one. So this is a very affordable, but not exactly the most highly sought after watch of all time. I do have a few other Akribos watches, and again, this one had a few problems, but I do like it. It's held up after I straightened out the band, and there are a few little inconsistencies of some of the markers and everything, but for the price I think it's still a decent watch. So again, here's the watch itself, which I'll get to in a minute. This is very similar packaging to the other one I have there, the mesh band, your warranty. I would never use their warranty. From what I hear, it's terrible. You're better off just buying from Amazon or a seller on eBay that offers 30-day warranty, and then just simply return the watch for your money back. The only thing that's going to be needed with this is the instruction manual for the automatic movement. Pretty basic. You have two positions, and then it talks about the water resistance of this one, and then the leather strap. We get back to this. Yeah, the first thing with this box is just how large it is. I'm not sure why they needed to give you a box that's a foot long, almost 4.5 inches wide, and it's got quite a bit of depth. That's just huge. It takes up too much space. I like the nice squared ones that just flip open. Getting really picky now, but this is what this other Akribos came in. This is a much better sized, just enough for the watch. That's fine. It's still big, but for one watch that's okay. This one's just so big for one watch, I don't understand it. Maybe if this is your first watch or something, you could maybe find a way to rig this up to set them in, kind of make a pillow or just lay them in, or you can put some bands in it or try and reuse this somehow. But it is very unnecessarily large. So the main reason I bought this simply is for this skeleton design. One of the things I like about it is it has all of the Arabic numbers, and then it has 24-hour time. I do like the black and silver contrast with a little bit of red. Now there are some that are different colors. I believe there's a gold case, and then I think there are some more silvers that have just a white dial, and then blue hands and such. I believe that would be much easier to see, because this in like light can offer a lot of glare. But again, for me that's okay. I don't mind. Let me check the Amazon listing, because that's just where I'm getting the specs from this, because I don't know much about it. It's saying the movement is a 2183 automatic movement. If that's even a known movement, maybe it's some cheap China movement. It works. It's not awful. I'm sure it's better than those like $15 steampunk ones that are just clearly junk. At least this has some wannabe good watch characteristics. They made it look like an actual watch that would be, not a kid's watch, not a gimmick watch, I should say. And you do get this exhibition window. They say it's screw down, but to me I don't see how it is. It looks like you have a little prying tab right there, which seems really weird for an automatic with an exhibition window on it. You get their lowest water resistance, but I have no clue why you would even want this type of watch in the water. It is pretty decorated though for a cheap watch. Never pay more than 100 for this. I got this one for 50. On eBay they go for about 75. Again, I got mine for 50. I believe on Amazon they go for 50. That might be your best bet. Let's see if I can. I believe there's a jewel. I'm not sure if they are. I'm not, knowledgeable on those types of movements and parts, but I don't know if there's different quality of jewels, but if there are, I'm sure this uses the lowest possible. But it does appear that there's one there. I'm sure they use the least amount as possible as well. And there actually are other ones I've seen on eBay that they don't have these little engravings on the parts and everything. So those look really unfinished and bad, to where this one does. So that's nice. I don't care how that's all just the same generic squiggly throughout. And I did notice on the rotor, which again, it's nice that it's dressed up. It's not that bad. But you will notice there's like a little 666 in that. So I'm not sure if that's just because that's the squiggly design they used, but they could have resized it. So whether that's intentional or not, because some people do go that far for subliminal messages, but I just figured I'd mention it's there. Some people might like that. And the rotor doesn't move too bad. When I wear it, it seems to keep itself wound up. I haven't wound it since, I don't even know if I wound it yesterday, but I wore it yesterday. And that'll just lead me into the timekeeping of it. When you just wind it fully and don't wear it, it seems to gain about 15 seconds a day, which is not very good. And in other watches, I have another automatic that gains time about 5 to 7 seconds, but it offers hacking, so you can always just pull the crown out and then just let a few seconds pass. This movement, obviously being cheap, doesn't have hacking. But when I wore it, it doesn't seem to gain much time at all. I think maybe it gained 2 or 3 seconds, and I had it on for well over 12 hours. So that's not bad for when you're wearing it, if it can keep time. I'm sure a good watch should always just keep the same, and it will vary a little with movement and such, but I think that as long as you're wearing it and if it can keep within 5 seconds, that's really good. Now, as far as the power reserve goes, I do think that's a strong point of this watch. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was almost 2 days on the mark, so right at 48 hours, save maybe an hour or two. It was real close to that. My Invicta Pro Diver, I think, only got like 41 or 43 or something, and this outlasted that, so that's pretty good. I'm not sure if that can vary or anything. I didn't wear it during that. And if I can get, I believe it's pretty much, you wind it, there's no screw down, so you wind it just with the crown pushed in. But yeah, it's just neat to see, all of the moving parts. And being an automatic, you don't have to worry about overwinding it. But but again, being a skeleton, you can kind of tell when it's fully wound or not. And then to set the time, again, I don't have much skill with not doing a non-hacking movement. So it's hard to sync it up right. There's some ways to do it, but it just depends on where you're at, or if the watch isn't running, then you can do it that way, but it's kind of tricky. And then it does say again, position 1 if the crown ends the winding position, position 2. I don't know why it says the watch stops in this position. It seems to outline that. The watch definitely doesn't stop. It's not hacking, so this is probably just a generic automatic movement instruction booklet for them. But once it gets into that zone, it doesn't stop, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, if it does mean anything. And again, this is, I believe, a 1 ATM, so I guess that would be 10 feet, which again, or no, it'd be 10 meters, sorry, so that'd be about 30 feet or so. Again, American, so we don't know how that works. Now the band is really bad. That's really where they cheaped out the most on this. It's very fake, but I guess maybe to an untrained eye it looks okay. But as soon as I touched it, it's just super hard, like plastic almost. The inside feels a slight bit better, but it's still really hard. Just feels cheap, isn't comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, but it's just not luxurious. Doesn't feel like leather. I have this Seiko I bought that I replaced the band with a cheap Walmart $12 band that's on it here. And at first I thought it was kind of, for $12 I wasn't that impressed. Kind of started to show wear, but this is so soft on the inside, and this, it does, like, if you scratch it, see, it leaves a bit of an impression. Which again, I don't know if that's good or bad, but at that you can tell it's real leather, feels like leather, looks like leather, even though it's cheap. So whatever they have on this that's supposedly genuine leather is just awful. But I do like that they have this signed clasp. So I probably will, this is a 20mm band, lug width, so I'll probably get another black one. Even a Walmart one would be an improvement over this. But if anyone's, for a cheap watch, if anyone's going to skip anywhere, the band would be the place to go, because that is replaceable. And then I also forgot to mention that the case width itself is 40mm, so it's just right where it should be. Doesn't look too big, doesn't look too small. On the wrist, yeah, it looks fairly good, especially for the average person that knows nothing about watches. It's probably going to catch some attention just for the fact that it's a skeleton watch. So, yeah, it's not bad for the money. This would be hard to recommend to watch collectors or people that are really into watches, but if you're a beginner and you're a little more serious than the Walmart watches and such, I definitely don't think it's that bad. Especially, like, say you're younger, still in school or something, and you're into watches and you don't have enough money to get the real expensive ones, or a luxury watch or something like this. I wouldn't recommend getting a ton of cheap watches, maybe a few. But I think it would really just be a conversation starter, because most people, I'm sure, that are younger are going to have no clue that this is how actual watches operated, and then you can see it and show it to people. Even though it's not the most quality, I just don't see people knowing that. You wouldn't want to wear this again to some event where people know a lot about watches, but I'm a fan of these Akribos ones. I do like this one. This is a quartz. They're not perfect. They're affordable. They have ridiculously high markups, but they don't sell for that. So the brand, I don't even know how long the brand's been around, but I just like their looks. They're neat to me. They're just one of those obscure brands that I don't mind owning a few. I doubt I'm going to get any more of them. I am happy with these two. And again, for under $100 for both of these, I bought them at different times. They're just neat to have in the collection. Again, they have some bad reviews. Luckily, this one, the few little problems, I ironed them out. Build quality isn't the best. This one doesn't have any other features, but I don't really think this type of design needs any. I think just simply what it is. And they are both domed crystal. None of my other watches are, so I'm not sure if that's something Akribos does with all of them. It kind of can cover up being able to see everything in here, but sometimes it can magnify it too. So it's kind of give or take depending on your taste. But just wanted to show about it. Most people don't know about these watches, and they're okay. I think there's another brand, Sterling or something like that. I think it's the same watch, probably made in China. It looks like the same box, just with a different brand on it. So if you're looking for an automatic skeleton, it's hard not to recommend it if you just want something affordable that'll get the job done, but it's nothing special. So hopefully you found this interesting, and I will probably be doing some more videos on watches, and I certainly hope to be getting some better watches in the future. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.